since this is fresh, what we're looking at right now in terms of the health care issue. This kind of leads back into taxes, but the 8% that's being proposed for small businesses to cover healthcare costs if they don't provide healthcare for their employees. I mean, I come out of a small business. My husband's still running that business, and we were talking about this payroll, 8% on your payroll, and actually for what we pay for our healthcare for our employees right now, that actually would be a pretty good deal for us. So I guess I just want your opinion, Mr. Woods. I have a lot of small, manufacturers in my district in Pennsylvania, and Mr. Johnson, I come out. My company is Design Bill, but I'm just curious, what you think that would, how that think you affect those in your association.
You actually have a fantastic region in Erie, Pennsylvania for our members. There's a number of great ones there, including our past chairman. Yes, while that may seem like on one facet of that overall bill, which I didn't get a chance to read all 1,018 pages, there are certainly elements that may be beneficial, and I'm sure there could be 300 of the 1,000 that are great programs. The 8% by itself would certainly seem to be a nice viable number compared to other costs. I think the concern gets to be just any additive cost, any additive tax at this point, and the unknowns of all of the other potential costs that go along with it. So that by itself seemingly may be good if you weren't doing some other program already as a percentage of payroll. I think the bigger issue gets to be all of the other potential costs that get associated with it as you unravel the implementation of the full program.
Right now, what would you say percentage-wise in your association providing health care? Do you have any idea what that is?
I couldn't tell you what the number is. I can tell you that the whole time that I was in business in Rochester, New York, up the thruway from your neighborhood, almost all the companies in Rochester that were in the tool and die and manufacturing industry, almost everybody I knew was in it, but I couldn't give you an actual statistic for our association. I'd be happy to get back to you with that.
I appreciate that if you could. I'm trying to get some sense on this. Mr. Johnson?
I thank you for the question. Let me tell you that in February we had a national meeting in Fort Worth, Texas, and we had a town hall meeting at that national convention that focused on health care. And we voted in the room. There were 500 or so people probably in that room, and we voted about 60 or 70% of our membership were in support of what President Obama had on the table at that time. That support has evaporated. They're taking too much money. There were suggestions being made on how to do this that didn't sound nearly as expensive as what we're seeing today, and small business cannot support.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit about what specifics you're talking about?
Well, I wished I could, and like Mr. Woods, I hadn't read the entire package, but the dollar amount that's attached to it and the hit that we're going to take for it are not proper or correct. We provide insurance with my company. We provide insurance for our employees. We pay a great deal of the cost ourselves, and we want to continue that program. But I think within our industry, we recognized there was some need for reform nationally, and things need to be done. But the dollar amount that's being put on the packages is going to hurt small business tremendously. And the support that we showed in February is not there today.
Mr. McMillan, did you want to comment?
I would. Thank you, ma'am. Even though you didn't direct a question at me, there's a crisis in health care in the realtor family. We have 1.1 million realtors, and health care is not available to us, period. As a small business structure, we have more than 300,000 realtors who have no access to health care at all. When we couple that with the average age being around between 50 to 52, it's a high-risk phenomenon. The other realtors who do have health care have it through a spouse being employed in another industry. So thank you for letting me contribute that.
Thank you, gentlemen. I yield back.